Okay, this is the Kihon or the basics for going from red belt up to yellow belt, or 9th Q up to 8th Q. Okay, so, and don't forget you need to know all the previous ones as well, from white belt to red belt, so it gets harder and harder. Okay, so the first, we'll start off with the stances. So the first stance that we're going to show for this one is our Nakamaka or our cat stance. And from the front, it looks like this. So you have the toes, heel pulled up, toes on the ground, back foot out at about 45 degrees or a bit less, so bring it in a little bit. Both knees bent, facing the front, and sitting back into your stance. So from the front, it looks like this. From the side, it looks like this. So if you notice, my back, my bum, my heel, and the back of my shoulders is all in line. We're sitting into the stance, so we've got a nice stable centre there. The heel's pulled up and the toes are on the ground. This back foot is pointing out slightly, and most of our weight, about 90% of our weight, is in onto our back leg, and there's not much on the front leg. So a couple of mistakes people do make is pushing their foot out. You want that foot nice and straight, so if you just put the ball of your foot on the ground as opposed to the whole of your front toes, and that's our Nakamaka or our cat stance. So the next one is our Shikadachi, or our horse riding stance. Now with that, it's quite a wide stance. So the feet are pointing out at 45 degrees, and again the knees are bent, pull back, and we're sitting with our back straight into our stance. And if you notice, my knees are out over my feet. So from the front, it looks like this, nice and solid, and from the side, we're looking like this. So again, back straight, sitting into our stance. So all the weight is pretty much through the heels. Okay, so we're here. Okay, once again from the front, it's our Shikadachi. Okay, so the next stance you've got to know is our Motodachi, which is a short version of our front stance. So in the last 10th and 9th Q, we talked about our Zenkutsudachi, our front stance. This is our Motodachi, which is a shorter front stance. Okay, so from the side, this is our Zenkutsudachi, back leg straight, front leg bent, foot slightly pointing out to there. With our Motodachi, we're back a lot shorter, so it's more of our natural fighting stance. The front leg's still bent, and the back leg is still relatively straight. This is where we do most of our close-in work from. Okay, so once again to recap, Nakamaka, Shikadachi, and our Motodachi. Okay, this is our short stance. So they're the stances you need to know. Now for the blocks we need to know our Shutouke. Okay, so I'll come up a bit closer to the camera for this one. So the way this starts, hand out the front, other hand up on the shoulder, open hands, thumb pulled in, fingers together. So the hand here is up against our face, and the way we're going to do it is we're going to come through this way with a twist. Okay, and this one's going to pull back to our chest with a twist. Okay, so from here, this one comes through and this one comes back. There. Okay, so from there again, starts up here, comes through there. Starts up here, comes through there. Okay, so with this, we're slightly bent here. I'll go back a bit. We're not all the way out. This looks really nice for competition, but this is more practical. This other hand here is on the solar plexus, but the important part here is this elbow here is tucked hard against the ribs, okay? So it's there, once again, there, so nice and hard against the ribs. So that's our shutauke, or our knife hand block, okay? The second thing we've got to know, block we've got to know, is the same thing but our gedan shutomarai. So that is usually, well, in our kata it's done in it's done in our horse dance, or our shigedachi. So the same thing here, starts here, hand comes up, and instead of out here, it's down there, and he strikes down and this pulls up. 1, 2, or to the side, 1. Okay? So the other 2 blocks we've got, these are more truer blocks. They're what we call a parry, so the strike's coming in, you're going to knock it out of the way. The first one is our lower parry, and the second one is our upper parry. So it's basically just a pushing block, okay? So from fighting stance, the first one will be a push across, second one will just be a push down, okay? Second one other side, push across, push down. Again, open-handed blocks. Okay, so there are blocks we've got to know for white to yellow. Now the strikes. Strikes we've got to know for white to yellow. Yuriken, which is our back fist. So there's a few different ways of doing this, but the way we're going to look at the moment is hands up the front here, elbow comes out, pointing to where you want to strike. Back fist, you strike with the back of the knuckles and back down there. The other side, elbow comes out, back fist, strike. Now, 2 ways you can do it. You can either strike, pull the other hand back, or strike and leave it there, depending on the application. So for now, it's just elbow up, back fist, and down. Elbow up, back fist, and down. The other strike you need to know is our shuto bichi, or our knife hand strike. So this is fairly similar to our salto uke, or our strike the middle receiver, but it starts up here. So hand up near the head, not all the way back here, just here near the ear. So we come around and strike. So again, we're here, around, and we're striking. So what we're aiming for is around the sort of neck area. So if I move back a bit, here, there, there. Okay. On this one we have a closed hand hikate, okay? As opposed to the shuto uke where we have an open hand and it's closed. Okay? So a couple from the front. A couple from the side. Okay. So the last block strike we've got, is our tetsui, or our hammer fist. So with our hammer fist, we're striking again to the middle part here for the purposes of what we're doing now, and we're coming through and striking. In reality, it can be anywhere on the body. You can hammer strike to here, someone can bend over, hammer strike to the back of the head, hammer strike to the nose, the front of the face, to the chest. This for basics. This is what we're aiming for, the chest. So I'm going to hammer strike there, bring it up. It's just like hammering a nail in. Okay, so from the side. Okay, so there are strikes. So we've done our blocks, done our strikes. and our stances. And the next one we're going to do are our kicks. So our kicks for this level are kept low so we can get our technique nice. The first one that we're going to look at is our side kick. We're going to do it Kihon or a very low side kick. So you bring your knee up and hands up, and you're going to strike down with the blade of the foot. Okay, so I'll move across here a bit. So knee up, down, up, back. Up, down, up, back. Okay? Again from this side. Up, down, up, back. So you can do it to the front as well, where you have to twist your body a bit up, down, up, back. For this level, we're just going to look at doing it to the side. So from the side, it looks like up, here, knee up, and then you're striking with the blade of the foot. So you come straight down. Toes pull up, side of the foot there, and bring it back up. Okay? So that's our lower side kick. So that's good for kicking somewhere at the knees or kicking at the back of that. It's quite a good strike. So the other kick we're going to do is again going to be low, is our lower roundhouse kick or our get 'em or washigiri. So with this one, again we're going to just do it from the side. So we're going to lift our knee up, but up to the back, kick down, pull it back, and step back. So move across the side, pull it back. So here, knee up. So when I say knee up here, what I'm doing is I'm actually pulling my foot back here. I'm going to kick round and down and back. Okay? It's that sort of, yeah. Up, down, back. Okay? So later on we get that a bit higher, where we start coming up. But for now we're going to go, just keep it low. Okay, and then we're going to step across, low, and back. So that's our get 'em washigiri. So there are our stances. Again, quickly run through them. Our stances are our cat stance and nekawakadashi. Our horse stance, shikadachi. Our short front stance, motodachi. Our strikes, Hurricane, back fist, Shidoichi, knife hand strike, Tetsui, our hammer fist strike, and our kicks. Lower side kick, lower motion kick. Lower side kick, lower motion kick. Okay. That's your 9th to 8th Q Kihon.